Welcome to Spirits and Screams.
Hey guys, welcome to Spirits and Screams. Tonight, I'm going to talk about 10 freaky scenes in werewolf movies that you won't forget. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel if you're into chatting about all things horror. First up, we have Bad Moon from 1996. Bad Moon from 1996. During a trip to Nepal, a photojournalist gets bitten by a werewolf. Upon his arrival back home and meeting with his estranged sister, the family dog senses his affliction and must defend the family. Directed by Eric Red, starring Michael Paré and Marielle Hemingway. In this scene, Ted has turned into a werewolf. He attacks his sister Janet, and in defense of that, the dog, Janet's son, Brett, attacks Ted and saves the day. First off, Thor is a German Shepherd, and he's so cute. Oh my goodness, so cute, but very strong and brave against the werewolf. And Ted's transformation is so creepy. I think there's a mix of CGI and practical together, but somehow it just works. And I think it's because we get really invested in the characters, and so you can kind of see the transformation happening and the terror and the fear that's going on. And it's really intense. One of the parts of the changes that Ted goes through is that his voice changes, and that gets me every time in a horror movie. I find that so frightening. His voice changes, plus he's just got so much anger towards his sister and the little boy that he's just like gonna go after them, and that freaks me out. It's so tense and scary. Then there's like a chase scene that just, you're right on the edge of your seat watching it. It's so much fun. She ends up running into the house, and the walls are literally glass. Like, the picture windows are so huge, the doors glass, everything. And he's moving so fast chasing that you just know she's not safe, and he crashes through the glass. And I remember my palms are just sweaty watching this. It was so scary to me, and just so incredibly fast-paced and fun. So Thor the dog, he comes in just at the right moment and is able to distract Ted a little bit. He does get a little bit injured, it's kind of sad. I didn't like that part that much, but he does a little bit, but just enough so that Janet can jump back up and kick some ass. She sure does. I love that. It's pretty cool. And then the dog comes back with a vengeance, so they're kind of both working together, and it's very tense and crazy and frenzied. I'm not going to tell you what happens in the end. You'll have to watch it to see, but man, I highly recommend this movie. It is so much fun. Next up, we have Dog Soldiers from 2002. Dog Soldiers from 2002. A British squad is sent on a training mission in the Highlands of Scotland. Ignoring the childish campfire stories heard about the area, they come across the bloody remains of a special ops squad and the fierce howling of something in the distance. Directed by Neil Marshall, starring Sean Pertwee and Emma Cleesby. In this scene, tensions are mounting because the squad is stuck in a cabin and there's something bad out there in the forest and they don't know what it is. They're completely oblivious of what's about to happen. Oh my God, I love this movie so much. So they're arguing amongst each other, and Sergeant Wells stands up slowly, and his eyes are all changed and his teeth are changed. And they're just like so shocked and taken aback and not sure what in the hell is happening. They're super tough guys, so they're ready to fight, but they're like a little bit like, what the hell? And you get that feeling of them being stuck in this room, and they know they need to react quickly, but they can't, and they're not really sure what's going on. Oh my God, so terrifying, so tense. This one's so good. The irony of it is they were locked away in this cabin thinking it's given them safety and protection from what's out there so they can do some thinking and brainstorming. But in reality, the bad thing is locked up in the cabin with them. So fun. As the sergeant changes as well, he's standing upright on 2 feet. And that's what's really kind of known about this movie, is that the werewolves stand upright on their hind legs. They're able to do that. And that makes it super terrifying to me. Anyhow, I just think this movie's so cool. And if you haven't seen it yet, definitely check it out. Next up, we have Bone Hill Road from 2017. Bone Hill Road from 2017. A mother-daughter duo on the run realize that they are being hunted by a pack of werewolves. They seek shelter in a house nearby, but discover that it is more dangerous. Directed by Todd Sheets, starring Anna Regis Plumberg and Linnea Quigley. I loved this movie. It's super underrated. So, mom and daughter jump in the car after being attacked by an a-hole dad husband, and only to escape and run into a pack of werewolves. Super great plot. The transformation into a werewolf, that kind of scene where the nails are growing and the teeth are kind of coming out, it's super cringy and really good. Anyhow, if you get a chance and you haven't seen this one, definitely check it out. I highly recommend it. Next up, we have Wolf from 1994. Wolf from 1994. After being bitten by a wolf in rural Vermont, aging book editor Will Randall finds himself full of youthful vigor. Directed by Mike Nichols, starring Michelle Pfeiffer and Jack Nicholson. I love this one. I think it's one of my favorite romantic horror flicks of all time. So in this scene, we have Will, and he's really interested in falling in love with his boss's daughter, Laura. And unfortunately, there's this other guy named Stuart, and he's come in and kind of stolen his job away. So there's this rivalry going on between the two of them. And Will's already bitten, so they know he's going to turn into a werewolf. Well, she knows. So they have him locked up in this iron cage because the full moon's coming to protect her and see if they can figure things out. He ends up having a fight with Stuart and biting him. So then Stuart turns into a werewolf as well. And it's just this really chaotic, crazy scene. Jack Nicholson, James Spader, Michelle Pfeiffer are all in this one, and they just make it so charming. I absolutely love this movie. I've watched it many, many times, and I recommend that you check it out too. Next up, we have The Howling from 1981. The Howling from 1981. After a bizarre and near-fatal encounter with a serial killer, a newswoman is sent to a rehab center whose inhabitants may not be what they seem. Directed by Joe Dante, starring Dee Wallace and Christopher Stone. This is definitely one of my favorite werewolf movies of all time. Here in this scene, we have Eddie Quist, who is the killer, and he's transforming into a werewolf. And with him is Karen White, and she's the reporter that's been documenting everything, and they're trapped together in a room. And I've got to say, the transformation of him into a werewolf with his skin bubbling up is so phenomenal. You definitely have to check it out. It's like over the top good. And it's terrifying because he's fixated on her and they're trapped kind of in the room together with each other. And she's so scared. Absolutely horrifying. Eddie is played by Robert Picardo, who you would know from Star Trek, I think Voyager. He played the Doctor. Loved him in that role. And Dee Wallace, of course, everybody knows Dee Wallace. She was in Cujo and also E.T. and loved her in both of those films as well. She's really good in this. It's really crazy seeing Robert Picardo so like younger version of him in this film, but oh my God, because he just seemed, I'd never, when I saw him in Star Trek, I'd never picture him to be the kind of guy he is in this movie. You know, he just seems like a headbanger kind of guy. So different from the other role. But it's really cool seeing him. He's such a good actor. Oh my goodness. So good in this. Speaking of Cujo, there's a remake coming up, right? I heard about that. I don't know what I feel about that. How about you guys? Anyhow, this movie's incredible. I have it in my collection and I watch it every Halloween, so definitely check it out. Next up, we have another one of my favorites, Wolfen from 1981. Wolfen from 1981. When a famous tycoon, his wife, and his bodyguard are brutally murdered, a cynical detective is assigned to the case. Directed by Michael Wadley, starring Albert Finney and Tom Noonan. The scene that intrigued me the most in this film is when the detective and his friends are surrounded outside by these large wolves, and we see everything from the perspective of the wolf with like an infrared kind of filter over it or look to it. And they actually used thermographic cameras to achieve this effect, and this is something that had never been done before, so very, very cool. This one's kind of like a detective story going on, yet there's weird elements to it. Absolutely love this film. Definitely check it out if you haven't yet. Next we have I Am Lisa from 2020. I Am Lisa from 2020. A young woman barely survives a brutal beating by a local sheriff and a subsequent wolf attack. She awakens in a remote cabin in the woods to discover that she has gained strange, new powers she can use to exact revenge upon her attackers. Directed by Patrick Ree, starring Kristen Vaganos and Carmen Anelo. I absolutely loved this film. I think it's super underrated. I really love Lisa, how she looks as a werewolf. She's just gorgeous. Her eyes are just amazing, stunning. And I love how she gets kick-ass and goes back after her attackers and kicks ass. I love that. I like all of the kills in this movie, actually. I love how she just rises up and she goes after each bully and she gets even in a brutal way. I just think it's a lot of fun. And I definitely think you should check this one out. Next up, we have the end-all, be-all of werewolf films, An American Werewolf in London from 1981. I did a deep dive of this one. You should go check it out because it's a lot of fun. An American Werewolf in London from 1981. Two American college students are on a walking tour of Britain and are attacked by a werewolf. One is killed, the other is mauled. Directed by John Landis, starring David Naughton and Griffin Dunne. In this scene, and it's the scene, the one that everybody loves, David is in his new girlfriend Alex's flat, waiting for her to come home from work, and he's still recovering from the attack that he had by the werewolf. And it's the first full moon since the attack, and crazy stuff happens. We've got an incredible soundtrack in this one, as well as incredible special effects, practical effects, done by the famous Rick Baker, and they're just so over the top. It's just, nothing's ever touched that, I can say for sure. And the transformation is so well done that you can actually feel David's bones breaking and skin growing and everything happening and all the pain that he's going through. So amazing, so amazing. If you haven't seen this movie, you absolutely have to check it out. And if you have seen it, you should watch it again because it's just as good every single time you watch it. I mean, there are a lot of scenes in this movie that are really great, but that one stands out the most for me. What was so special about it was that it was the first time I'd seen something so horrifying done quiet, like there's no sound as he's changing, so you can actually hear his body contorting and cracking and transforming into this werewolf, and that was absolutely terrifying to me. Similar to the kind of thing that was going on in The Exorcist, the OG The Exorcist. But I didn't know that because I hadn't seen The Exorcist yet because I was too scared to watch it. So I saw this movie before I saw that one. But the same kind of effect, and I think that's what made it so terrifying. And I absolutely recommend that you check this one out. Next up, we have Ginger Snaps from 2000. Ginger Snaps from 2000. The story of two outcast sisters, Ginger and Bridget. On the night of Ginger's first period, she is savagely attacked by a werewolf and becomes one herself. directed by John Fawcett, starring Emily Perkins and Catherine Isabel. In this scene, Ginger, who's turned into a werewolf, is almost completely changed, but not quite. She still looks like herself somewhat. She's very sexy and creepy all at the same time. And she's walking in, heading to her high school dance. She's ready to just rip apart anybody that gets in her way. And all the men think she's really hot, but her sister knows otherwise. This one's such a good movie and so crazy. There's other scenes that are really good too. If you haven't seen it yet, definitely check it out. Next up we have Howl from 2015. Howl from 2015. Ticket collector Joe oversees the last train out of London on a dark and stormy night when suddenly the train screeches to a halt in a forest after hitting something on the tracks. Directed by Paul Hyatt, starring Ed Spielers and Sean Pertwee. First off, I have to say I just watched this movie recently and I loved it. This is an amazing movie. Okay, in this scene, we have an elderly woman and her husband. The woman's been bitten, but nobody really knows what's going on. So they've been caring for her because she seems really ill. And all of a sudden, she starts to transform and her eyes get all crazy and her teeth start growing. Super, super freaky and scary because they're all stuck on this train because they're afraid to go out, that there's weird creatures or something bad killing people out in the forest around the train tracks. Oh my God, such a good scene. You feel so heartbroken and sad for her and her husband, but it's so scary at the same time. I really adored this film. Definitely check it out. You can't go wrong watching any of these films. Please let me know your favorite werewolf transformation scenes in the comments below. And remember, long comments, because I love to chat. Thanks for hanging out on the Spirits and Screams YouTube channel. My name is Karen, and you can help support the channel by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and dropping your long comments below. I'll see you on the next one, and remember, when you're watching horror movies, don't forget to scream responsibly. Have a good night, guys.